Mr. Yakety Yakety. Bucket of salted water diluted. It's kind of green. Nothing in these ones, and it's green as well. Well, you know, what are these things? These have been gotten rid of gold. You get rid of the gold out of it. Why, this way, red wire, corroding wire, black wire, emitting wire. This is salt water. I brought some Celtic salt and I got some sea salt. And I put them both in. I always get it all up in the big jars. And then if you do this, it electrolyzes it. So I did hold my camera properly. I don't want to drop it in the water. Alright, so what's going on there is hydrogen's coming out the negative and carbons are being made by crushing whatever it is. It's salt in it. It's sulfur-based material, you know. Okay, so this produces sodium hydroxide. But the positive one is not supposed to be in the liquid. It's supposed to be on the surface. And look at that. When I bring it only just the electrode into the liquid, as is said to do when you're making sodium hydroxide, nearly no hydrogen is produced. And it's said that there has to be a metal reaction. So when I submerge, you can't really see that, submerge the electrode with the copper exposed, then we look back at the hydrogen emitter, there we have it. Emission. That's what I call it. Bubbling. Yeah, so everything does what it does. It goes and raises in hydrogen and that's the gas that burns flammable, but it evaporates and goes flying out. So the salt is called sodium or sulfate and becomes sodium chloride, which is bleaching agent. And what is that? Well, when it becomes more richer than bleach, then you get the pH scale going up. So yeah, I think bleach is about 10, and it's a dark green. So that's like an 8. So what I've got there is 8 on the pH scale. Possibly, yeah, it's kind of between 7 and 8. And we want to push it up to 10. And yeah, 10.2 or 10.3 up to 10.7 or 6 maybe. Every time I took it up with the pH meter to 10.7 something, it would jump over to 8 and everything would just turn wicked. And I get pain and suffering and hate. So if you go get 2 RAM chips, tie off the copper onto each, the positive electrode and the negative electrode, and you're not using carbon electrodes. There are 2 carbonyls that I found that happen to have iron content in them, but it's in the core of them. So it makes them conductive. So I thought I'd try them out. And there you go, here's what's coming out of it. It's working. To get the green liquid, I did the same thing, and it's the copper content ended up causing copper sulfate, which is kind of pushing into the pHs still, just not high up in the 14s. Some people go by NaOH, that's carbon dioxide, carbon sodium hydroxide, sorry. Yeah, and then they put a bit of just like caustic soda, the same name, just scientific name, sodium hydroxide or caustic soda, what they use for soap. Same thing, just different name. One's a cowboy name from in the hills something, whatever, olden day, you know, wives' tale sort of thing, and then there's a scientific one. So I've been pushing the pH up in this stuff, put some in your mouth. So scientists said that the reason why we go grey and we corrode and stuff is because we are low in energy. So where do we make energy? In our belly. And our acids are in there. Well, I guess you can have some oranges or some lemons and push up your sulfuric acid. Yeah, and then that'll give you good digestion. But if you get candida or whatever it's called, it's a little bug that they use with yeast. They feed it sugar and they make us fat. So if you push up the pH, your energy in your body will actually be the same as what the battery system in your stomach does. All those wizards and things, they have high power in their stomach. They have to cure their Crohn's disease, and it's just vitamin C that does that. You just have some pure vitamin C pills and you'll watch your gut heal. And as long as you don't have sugar and you have some salt, salt helps electricity to conduct through surfaces, through things. If you put salt in your body, it's a robot system. Conduction will happen all through your body. Your energy chakras will generate power and emit out of each of the centers. Okay, so that's chakras, and everyone thinks it's all religious, and it's actually electrochemical. Okay, so it's green. I got the gold out of those chips. As you see, there's less gold, and just some little bits of gold, and the rest have come out. So the negative emitted the gold into solution, and that became colloidal gold. So I bunged it in here, it was all golden, and then I thought, hey, why not put some sodium hydroxide paint in with the colloidal gold to draw out all the Ormus. Now that's what you get, the whitening of the green. So I'm going to keep washing those, and you'll see that I'm getting the Ormus out of that colloidal gold. I've got green now. Green is just a form of copper, really. There's some coppering going on in there. I'll just keep washing it and copper wash away. Yeah, so that's the second wash, and it's that green. And so if you haven't got a pH meter like me, just make sure you know this concept. 14 is sodium hydroxide, 7 is water, and that's yellow water, mustard looking water. Now that's actually seen as 0 to some on the electrical scale. Water is 0 on electrics. So if you drink water, you're zeroing yourself down. You're going to get weak and sick if you drink too much water. You must have water to get rid of the acidity. So say if you're down in the electric acidity pH, you want to get back to even, you drink some water. If you want to get healed, you should push it up to 10 in your body, and you'll find that you'll start healing. So if you go to 14, unless you have gout, which is like from consuming your urine or something, and there's issues with your stiffening on the legs, a lot of diabetics get that problem. They don't understand they're drying their system out and their blood's pumping slower. How are you supposed to run a machine with clogging? So yeah, we want conduction. We don't want clogging. And it sort of gives you a short-term energy, whereas salts conduct electricity. That's why the ocean is still running, and wet, and not ice. There are places on the earth, though, that the salt seems to run away from, and that's the poles. I think there might be some salt in the polar snow, but it could be less, because with centrifugal motion, there are places where it accumulates in masses and thins out in others, and it's usually at the poles where it thins out. Okay, so I'm going to let that rest. It will part in the next 8 hours, and it'll be filtered down here and all clear. I'll tip off the clear into something else just to have a look at what it's up to. I'll probably throw it away, or I could push up the pH on that, see if there's any more on this. It'd be a waste of time.